Hello, thank you for joining me. It's me, Stephen Englander, and this is my live show. We've got all sorts of things to talk about today, but to start off with, we're going over to China. And Jack Ma, is it Jack Ma, Graham?
Yeah.
Owner of
Jack Ma.
Jack Ma. Jack Ma. Yeah. I can't be that. Is that racist?
That's not racist, man. That's
okay.
No, what are you talking about? It's a fun word to say. Ma.
He's been in trouble, hasn't he? Sorry, he owns Alibaba. Alibaba is a international website. I suppose you can't really compare it to Amazon or eBay because it's got more of a business slant to it, doesn't it? But did you tell me before he was in trouble?
No, you told me he was in trouble.
Well, someone must have told me.
And then, someone said it to you, and then you asked me to research it, and in fact, I kept the website up.
Yeah.
I kept the thing up because it was. Oh no, I've gone onto it now. There's a lot of stories all within the last day saying how well he's doing. He's doing hobbies.
Well, he's like one of the richest men in the world, isn't he?
Yeah, and it seems he's paid a lot of newspapers to put out very positive articles about him and drown everything else out because I can't find out what's going on.
China's very nice that way, aren't they? They allow you to pay people to say how wonderful you are.
Yeah.
Here, we've got to do something really good to get in the papers, don't we? Or bad. So why are we talking about Jack Ma and Alibaba? And I think it's because they've got a competition going. It's a little bit like Dragon's Den, where you sort of pitch your idea, and if they like it, they'll promote your business all over the world to their to anybody that's on Alibaba. Do you know Alibaba? Years ago, Graham, before the internet, I used to go to Manchester Library, and they had all these massive big catalogues, and of Chinese companies selling product to importers and whatnot. So I used to sit there in the days when I was trying to make some money and looking for some agencies or looking for gear that I could get hold of. And I used to sit there all day going through making notes about who we could contact. And then I used to go and write a letter out, type it out at the library and pay them 5 pence a go to fax these companies over to me. So they'd send me maybe the odd sample or a price list or something that I could go around all the wholesalers and things and try and get some orders for them. And that's what I used to do. And I think I've got a feeling that the catalogues became Alibaba.
Oh.
And I'm not sure, but I know it's something. I think one was the Hong Kong Trade Development Council. And it's really good because there's a lot of opportunity in dealing in China, if you can.
My brother does something along those lines. All he does all day long is translate Chinese companies and what they're selling. That's all he does, and just produces reports.
When it comes to manufacture, they're like the backbone of the world economy.
It's just listing what people are selling is a full-time job for him. People pay to get that information.
Yeah, but I don't think people realise what these factories are like. I was in a place called Guangzhou a few years ago, and I think we travelled 90 miles solidly of factories on both sides. I think there's a place in that area called Furniture City that only manufactures furniture and related stuff. Massive opportunities. Sometimes it's worth jumping on a plane and going out there and seeing what there is. But just going back to Alibaba, I think if I would encourage people out there to maybe enter this competition. I think, are you putting all the details up of what they need to do? Or
there'll be a link in the description, yeah.
There's a link in the description. So do go on it. And if you fancy entering the competition and you fancy doing a pitch, you can come and use our facilities free. You don't need to actually even come into the studio. We can, wherever you are in the country, if you fancy doing a pitch to get this Alibaba, and it's really worth doing, we'll do things remotely with you, so we can get some pictures out for you and we'll guide you through it and help you submit it. How's that for an offer?
That's a very good offer.
It is a good offer.
If you need help, I mean, but the important thing here though can't be ignored. Last year's Go Global Pitch Fest, the revenue was 52 billion.
It's just unbelievable.
And this is on merch that was sold through it. So if you get fast tracked by these people, this is like
the beauty of this is that it's great for products to the trade all over the world, but it's also there's retail on it as well, so you can pitch your products retail. It's probably not very good if you're selling stuff that people are already buying from the wholesalers or in general. But if you've got your own products, in fact, it's a sad thing really, because these days manufacturing in England has taken a bit of a dive, hasn't it? I was reading an article the other day that manufacturing is up in the UK, up 20%, but that's not a lot really. And I would imagine that a lot of the manufacturing is up on the big firms.
I think that's it. That's what we were talking about before, weren't we?
Because Heinz are now redoing their factory in Wigan, but they're spending 1.5 billion and it's creating 50 jobs.
Yeah, and then you can say, oh, manufacturing's gone up by 0.7%, but it's like, but the guy on the street doesn't know.
But it is such a shame, because businesses should have manufacturing, or at least processing something, to create a nice USP in the background of anything. And if you're in retail, you maybe sell other products to prop up what it is you're selling. But manufacturing is something everybody should look at. I've been involved in manufacturing in many different things. I mean, I grew up in a background manufacturing bags and handbags and sports bags. And in fact, do you know what's a shame? Because I was talking to my dad the other day, and
Go on.
when I was 16, 17, in a small half a mile radius area in Manchester, there was over 200 odd bag manufacturers, and within 4 or 5 years, it was down to about half a dozen. And now there's hardly anything there. But there's a lot of mileage in instead of spending fortunes in setting up a shop, selling stuff you go down to the cash and carries for. It'd be so much better to set up something, to manufacture something. And the beauty of it is there's some great tax breaks in that. There's great grants available, and there's great opportunities. I mean, if someone's actually manufacturing their own product, whether it's a consumer product or one into the trade, there's so much help in getting these things out there. So I would push people to go and find something to make. You know, I mean, you've obviously made that T-shirt, Graham.
Do you know what?
Well, no one would make that T-shirt, but it shows there's a niche, isn't there?
Your dad said I look like a penis in this.
My dad wouldn't know what that is.
He said, you look like a penis.
Well, my dad's in the audience. Dad, did you say he looks like a penis in that? You remember what a penis is? Sorry.
I would say, though, like...
How does that look like? Why are we on to this? Why is it, Graham? Every time we talk about anything, it gets down to that level.
Well, I didn't bring up the T-shirt, man.
But I didn't mention penis.
No, you didn't. No, that's on me this week. But I've got to say, though, in terms of the manufacturing thing, you know, on an individual level, yes. But on a greater level, the last year has shown us we are far too dependent on China and India. And
everywhere.
We're far, far too dependent.
Well, if we lose our manufacturing base, which we have, we become dependent on the services sector, and in particular, the financial services sector. So we have a crash and we're fucked, aren't we? Which is what happened, on the last big recession.
Yeah, although, I mean, some people have argued that our reliance on services has meant that because we got there first, we're actually coming out of what's happening now a little bit faster than Europe.
You can have both. You can have both. It's a bit like having a gold reserve, isn't it? It's something to back the currency.
Yes. But
if we're manufacturing something, it's got to make you stronger. It's got to make any. I mean, when I had my shops to prop up some of the profits, I used to have these molds of garden gnomes and religious figurines, and I used to have a little room upstairs, and I used to make them. And it's like we could get £1.99, £2.99 out for them, and they were costing me 5 and 10 pence to make, which is a massive difference between going and buying something and if I was selling something for £1.99, I'd probably be making 30, 40 pence on it in those days. So manufacturing something was definitely better. So you don't need to do it in a big scale. You can service your own customers. That you can. I know food is it manufacturing or cooking, but food can also be manufactured. There's all sorts of things, and I think in this day and age we're looking out for something different. And made in Britain, made in England, has always carried a great brand. It's got a pedigree to it, doesn't it? As long as we don't put your T-shirt on there, we've got a good pedigree. But you're a big cyclist as well.
Yes, and this is again another side to this. For the last year, there's been no bikes, and the reason I know this is because it's my daughter's birthday's coming up. And so last year for a birthday, I was trying to buy her a bike. I mean, you won't know this because I was just one of the little people that he ignored at that point. Yeah. But I remember moaning to Aidan, it took me such a lot of work. And a full year later, there's still no bikes because we don't build them here. No. We don't make.
Is that because of COVID? So the brothels have closed.
That's not.
Sorry, you're talking about the metal bikes.
I'm talking about actual bicycles. Yeah, this is my other thing. I quite enjoy bicycling.
Yeah, you're right to it.
Bicycling.
Yeah. I always love it when Hayden's got something to say. Hayden, but, please interrupt.
There's an interesting one though, because essentially nobody wanted to get on public transport. Completely understandable. Mask or not, clean or not, it's dirty people. You don't want to catch things. So because they couldn't get bikes, there's been an explosion of e-scooters. Even though they're still technically illegal, they're everywhere.
Oh, are they illegal?
Yes, for the most part, yeah.
Right.
Unless you're on private land. All these people you've seen everywhere.
So it's just to jump in.
You're in if you want to jump on camera too.
Okay, there we go. If e-scooters are illegal, why did they have, when I was just going through town, picking Dazzle, rows of them that you can touch to
those ones are legal.
Why are they legal?
Only they're legal because they're the ones the government own, and
that explains it.
That's the government. They belong to the government, so they're okay.
I've seen a few people on that. I think some of them are quite comical because I saw one guy when I was coming to work this morning, and he was I was coming to the studio, not work, but when this guy who was like that wide on a tiny little platform on the e-scooter, and I'm thinking, what's keeping him on that?
They're good though, they're good. Although there's a lot of discussion at the moment with regulations. I mean, and to be honest, something needs to be done because they're all on the pavements. And they're all.
But it does show you, just going back to what we were saying, that manufacturing. There's so much opportunity in this country right now for manufacturing.
Well, they're made in England.
And all sorts. Yeah.
That's why they're doing well, because, I mean, Pure is an English company, so they've built them for our weather, and they're making them here. You're paying a little bit more, but people are happy to do that.
And there's enough of a market in the UK alone that we don't need to worry about tariffs and sending stuff out. Oh, hang on, we've got. Yes. Sorry, can you hear my dad speaking?
Not at all, no.
So I'll repeat.
You repeat.
My dad's sat in the audience over there and he's gone, can I make a little point? Local manufacturing businesses have gone out of business because the importers and the wholesalers don't want to buy their goods. What do you think of that? Conspiracy going here. Why don't people want to buy English-made goods?
Well, because it's so much easier to set up a business with stuff from China. Yeah, exactly.
Because we can't produce them for the price.
Exactly, yeah.
But you see, this has always been the case, though. You shouldn't be buying stuff based on price. Look at the quality. Feel the width. Look, sorry about that. Look at the quality. Look at the accessibility. Look at that. One way or another, it's going to cost you because minimum wages will just keep going up if we've got to subsidise imports coming in. It's much better. But you can do both. Give people the choice. Put British goods manufactured products there, put the Chinese counterpart and see what people buy.
Well, that's exactly what I did with the scooter. There's no way I'm importing a cheap whatever. I paid good money for a good one that has got the proper stamps on it, CE and all that stuff.
Well, there's also the thing, if you're buying, it's sort of like, if I know one of the problems I used to have when I was importing from not just China, but, it's the 11 to the dozen thing. It's all right when it's going out 11 to the dozen, but when it's coming in, you get 11 to the dozen, or it's not quite what you ordered, it's too far to send it back. I think business is a lot about relationship as well, isn't it? So if you have a good relationship with people, then they're going to look after you a bit more. So
vehicles and Viagra, Stephen. Don't mess around with either of those. Put the money in and get the proper brand.
I don't take Viagra once. I don't take it anymore. It's the usual problem. It got stuck in my neck, and my neck was stiff for ages. No bikes. So we've done that one, haven't we? Should we cover the immigration policies, or should we go on to the new trade deals?
Let's get. What do you mean?
Which one?
What trade deals was that?
Trade deals. Oh, trade. Yeah. Bones of a new US trade deal announced.
No. Okay.
With all the tariffs being removed.
Yes.
Yeah.
This has just happened just before we came on air, actually. Yeah. So for years, there's been things like cashmere, pork, Stilton, whiskey. There's been huge tariffs, 25%.
But how does that affect small firms? So great. So they're going to take the tariffs off whiskey, so more Americans can get drunk on English products or Scottish products. Stilton cheese, that's always a good one.
Well, you can be a small business making Stilton, can't you? You can be producing whiskey.
Are there many around? Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of small breweries in small places.
It's opening the doors as well to reduce tariffs.
International marketing is much easier now.
Yeah.
So they can create a brand in any country of the world using social media and tools like that, and away you go.
So really, you don't even need to make it here. You can just have the labels made up.
I'm going to go make some Stilton.
Well, that's the thing. If you know you can sell whiskey and a quarter's come off the cost of sending it. I mean, we don't know. We don't know the details yet, but I think this is huge.
I think it's a huge step forward in the right direction. Opens the door, but like Hayden just said, I do think it's going back and looking at this manufacturing base. So if you can make your own products or put your own stamp on products, the world is pushing everybody to do this. It's opening up opportunities. I've not really got any more to say on that at the moment.
No, well, it is breaking news. It's literally just happened.
It's pushing us into the world of where we need to manufacture. Everybody wants to manufacture.
Brexit reality as well, isn't it, eh?
Oh, yeah.
Because that's our
French,
trade deal.
I like Stilton, but I like French cheeses as well. Brie.
Buy our pork.
Well, yeah. I eat a lot of pork. Immigration point system, what do you think of that? Are you pulling it up?
I am. I'm just going backwards now to find it.
Do you know, one of the things that is a frustration.
Yes.
And it's not just a frustration for me, it's a frustration for the other person as well. And that is not a good grasp of English. So you go into shops, you don't understand what's being said to you, and the other person doesn't understand what you're saying, and it's frustrating for both parties. So the part of the immigration point system means that in order to come here and work, you've got to have passed various tests, and you get points for each test. Like if you speak English at required level, you get 10 points, and that means that you can that counts towards your 70. But I'm not sure if that's a great idea, putting restrictions on whether people can come into the country. Because you can laugh and joke, and you say,
no, he's saying that I wouldn't get the 10 points for that.
You would. But in fairness, you can transfer some of these things. So if you're better, like you've got particular job skills, they'll overlook the fact that you don't speak English properly.
What? The fact that I'm destined to be an arse wiper.
Graham, you take the opportunities where you can get them.
That's what we decided just before we came on air. Yeah. That was my career future.
No, you assumed it. I just said there was another gentleman in the office.
Who else is going to do it?
And I just said, I've got to be nice because in years to come, he's the one that could be taking me to the toilet and cleaning up after me. And you said you thought that was going to be your role. And you were upset that it wasn't going to be your role.
As if he's going to put up with your crap when you're losing your mind.
See how I said that? Your role.
Yeah.
Okay.
I saw what you said.
But the thing is, in my opinion, is that there's a lot of people that come to the UK and they can't speak English very well, but then they go on and learn and they become a valuable asset to society. So I'm not sure whether this is a fair system, even though it seems okay. It sounds logical, let people come in that have got the right qualifications, let them come in. If they've got enough money to invest, let them come in. If the jobs are scarce and only they can do it. All these things have been talked about for years, but is that in the spirit of a free economy, and people should be able to move and have the best lives for them, and the UK should help that?
I mean, I don't. Right, here's the thing, right?
Because you're a racist Nazi, aren't you? So obviously you want tighter restrictions of people coming to the country. Stealing our wives, our women, and taking our jobs. That's you, isn't it, Graham? Sorry, I interrupted you before you said that.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you're very, very focused on speaking English at a required level, but ultimately, it says here, if someone's got a PhD in STEM, and there's this job shortage, and they've got a job offer, they only need 10 more points. Yeah, but why
not let people come in and train to that level? I think if people want to work and want to get on, why should they be restricted?
Well, I think that the 70-point requirement means that it allows a little bit for that, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's going in that direction, but it's not fair. Why not just let people come and go? obviously, if they can't bring anything to any society, but I think people should have free movement no matter where they're from, what they do, and as long as they're not gangsters and they're not causing trouble. I mean, look at the problems we've got now because a lot of Eastern European people have been effectively pushed out. That we've got a shortage of certain types of workers.
Well, we haven't. I mean, we've also got furlough, haven't we? We're paying people not to work right now, so it's quite complicated.
Yeah.
We're also 1 million houses shy of where we should be, so people aren't here because the rents are ridiculous.
Again, racist, fascist.
It's not. It's a fact.
Yeah, but if more people are here, they've got more builders.
No, we don't though. We've been saying that for 25 years. We don't have more builders. It doesn't.
Well, we should.
We
have.
do.
Train
but not
them.
enough.
Train them.
Yeah.
Let people come and do it. Not get rid of the people and make it difficult for them that are probably in that community that would make good builders. And you know something else? Half my staff, half the people who work for us are not born in the UK. English isn't their first language, but we get decent, good people, and if they can't come in, then,
It feels like you're arguing with me or something.
Well,
as if you're talking to me as if I've got this really that I just hate all foreigners and all the rest
I
of
don't
it.
think it's just foreigners, is it, really? Sometimes it's people that've got more money than you. I know you don't like Jews. Well, we've drawn a blank there, haven't we?
Well, don't look at me like that.
So okay. Well, while we're on funny business, no, Graham's not at all racist, are you, Graham?
No, I'm not.
No, I am.
You totally are.
I literally. No, I'm not even gonna. I'm not gonna defend myself. No.
You're just happy in your yellow penis jumper.
That isn't like. Why did I make that for that segment?
Which bit?
The graphics. I thought we were going to go through and discuss.
We were looking at names. What's in a name? So if we've got a new manufacturing business and we do something, we want a good name for the company, don't we? Do you know, I was listening to a radio article years ago, and they were spending all this money, Ford Motor Company, on what would be a great name for a car. And this guy was on talking about how much care they take in doing international sort of surveys and research into making sure that they get the right names, because of course some names can be offensive in other countries that mean nothing in the country in the language that you're talking about. And I remember the radio, the lady interviewing said, in this country of multiculturalism and different language, do you think the name Focus for a car is the right name? Because when pronounced differently, because as some people do, they pronounce the O with a U, a Ford Focus possibly wasn't the best name. So I was looking up
It's fine by me.
Well, it would be, wouldn't it? So if you want a Focus, then that's fine. But I've got these. Graham went to all the trouble of finding. So just let me. How do I work this computer? I can't even see the bleeding keys. So. What was great here, we were looking at names that people use in their businesses, because I thought that was quite funny. And can you imagine calling an off-license liquor shop? Is that picture come up?
I've got, yeah. Don't worry about that side of things.
Okay.
You have to assume that I've cocked it up.
I don't know. It's just I'm going by experience. So, liquor shop. Can you imagine? Here's the type of dog parlour you'd be going to, isn't it? Doggy style. That was.
I think these are great.
I do. I think some of them, like we've got Jack the Stripper for a wood stripping shop. We don't have that type of business in this country, though, do we? But the air conditioning service, stiff nipples. I think that's. Yes, I don't know.
The next one's my favourite.
This is the worst ever. The Golden Shower restaurant. I couldn't go and eat there.
Hey. Hungry or not, I think I'd find myself walking in there regardless.
But what about that construction company, Mammoth Erections?
Is that what that is? Construction?
I'm assuming it's construction.
I hope so.
I hope so. Yeah, but if your name's Richard and you run a plumbing company, maybe you shouldn't abbreviate your name to Dick. Dick's Plumbing. I'm sorry. I just. What's this one? Frisky Business Boutique. Do you think these done? Oh, I can't say this. The hotel. Can I say that now? What a name.
Kuntz.
Kuntz. TZ. Honestly, there's some. Oh, this is where we're going to shop in future, isn't it?
Yeah. Come on, that's got to be like Polish or something. That's got to. I don't know.
I'm sure they don't. They don't set up thinking these things.
Oh, I don't know. Dick's Pumping knew what he was doing. It says there, we'll put our hose anywhere. I mean, come on, look at that.
But we can't think of any. I'm trying to think of any clients or names that I've come across that are a bit odd. We had my dad setting up Mr. Teabags years ago. I had a company called Fu King Mitsuya. Mitsuya means a bargain, and there was Fu, Phu, and King, Qing, and that was a company exporting from China. Fu King. I don't know how we got it past, but here's one. Greeting cards, balloons and crafts called Floaters. It'd be great if people would tell me their funny names for their businesses. We could do a whole thing on this, couldn't we? Now the Codfather, we actually acted for a company called the Codfather. I'm not sure if we still do or they closed them. I'm not sure. The Codfather, I think that's reasonable.
When you say acted, what are you referring to exactly there?
As their accountants. There was definitely a Codfather in Manchester that we
yes,
acted for.
I remember that.
I'm not sure.
I don't remember acting for him because I wasn't involved with you then in this wonderful place called Accounts Direct.
We wouldn't let you near people's accounts, Graham. We wouldn't. In fact, because were you trying to say me? Come and bring all your paperwork and all your accounting needs to Accounts Direct. Thank you very much. We look forward to handling your paperwork and producing some fantastic accounts and giving you reducing your tax bills and keeping compliance sorted so you don't get into trouble with the tax man. Is that a good plug? Is that okay? Are we moving on to this? Are there any the athlete's foot as a shop, as a shoe shop? That was and my I think Selfridges was a good one. Have you lost it? Have I gone too fast for you?
You're fine.
Okay. Well,
I just thought we'd moved on. That's all.
Should we move on? Should we? I was just enjoying that.
It's your show, mate. You do whatever you want.
Thank you. Do you know I was actually quite impressed with in the news. I was reading about a meat company called JBS. They're a Brazilian company. They're sort of like the biggest beef producer in the world.
So do they? Do they sell a lot of beef in Brazil, or do they
all over the world?
They send it everywhere.
All over the world. I think the biggest beef producing company in the world, and I think the some of their data was hacked, and it was to do with customer payments and accounts, and the hackers demanded a ransom of, I think it was £11 million, and they paid it. And what was interesting was that they paid it although they'd secured the data, or they were pretty sure they secured the data, because they didn't want their customers and the bigger community to stress. So they just paid for it. How would that work? How would that work with smaller firms? Do you think people should take a business decision on these things, or should they take that moral high ground? I
don't know. I mean, I think the thing is, though, if you're a smaller business, you're even more vulnerable, but they're not interested in you because how much money are you going to get?
I think they're cyber attacking everybody all the time and everything. But I'm not sure whether, is it setting a precedent? So you've got people that are doing this type of thing encouraged to do it more. Should these things be publicised? Should it just be, the press shouldn't really promote these things and say to people it's okay? When you do that, does it mean move on to the next subject?
Means it's 1 minute to 6.
So we're moving on. So
moving right on, yeah.
We didn't want to move to Cristiano Ronaldo upsetting Coca-Cola by preferring water, and they've lost billions of pounds because of that.
I thought that was brilliant when he got the Coke off and he went, I mean, if you want to drink Coke, but I like that moment there.
Move away and let's just drink the water.
And people are making a big deal about billions going off Coke, but the market, it'll stabilise and all that. It will. But it
just shows the real strength of the brands and more with the football than they are with
It's a bit of fun, though. It's a bit of fun.
Yeah. And did you want to talk about GB News, or should we save that for next week?
I mean, we'll save it for next week.
You save it for next week. I don't know why you put it in,
because it's trending and there's lessons to be learned about.
Probably by next week there'll be more there'll be more sort of gossip going on about how they're drastically failing in the news channel. Do you know Accounts Direct's got a news channel, a news feed, AD News?
I do. I've been trying to get access actually.
To promote it a bit more, because we're moving down that route, aren't we? So there's a couple of subjects that, because you've kept me talking for so long, I've not covered. Did we want to mention the quote of the day and then sign off? What do you think, guys?
Sure.
Quote of the day.
Oh, wait. Before you do that,
Yep.
Freaky Chick is with us, and she said that Liqueurs Spot would be a better name for a liquor bar, obviously. Liqueurs Spot.
I'm lost.
Liqueur Spot, as in when you read it.
Sorry.
Liquor Spot, like.
Send me a picture.
Okay, no problem. But yeah, she says hello. Drone Tech Politics is in. He said hello as well. American Rebellion's joined us. He said hello. John Grammaticus is in. Mr. Kill C1 also.
All these great names.
Sue, who joined us before we even went live, she said hello.
Hi.
So I just wanted to give a shout out for everyone.
That's
before
nice.
We move on.
Thank you. Yep.
Oh, I've got to stay in because it's quote of the day, isn't it? You
Yeah.
me?
So I'm waiting for you. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll just find it because we're all. There we go. Right. Build something 100 people love, not something 1
You know what? This is a great time to sign off. Thank you for joining me tonight. We'll be here next week at the same time. Don't forget to tune into Alt Feed and watch Trigger Warning with Hayden later, where we'll give Graham far more abuse than I could ever give him. And I think we've got Colin and Lorraine a bit later on in their plain comedy show. So thank you for joining me again this week, and I'll speak to you next week. Good night.